Wake up, Atlanta. It's time for coffee. Talk presented by Spotify. Fresh vibes, real talk.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting show here today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Coffee Talk in the evening segment, but this is Coffee Talk powered and presented by Spotify. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all so very much. Okay, so I'm back in front of the camera, obviously, and I gotta have we have two things we're gonna talk about here on the show, but of course, I wanted to talk to you guys about the future of this show, and I kind of had sort of a heart to heart, as you guys can see that we changed some things up when it comes down to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. First of all, I want to say thank you. Thank you to a lot of people that watch our content, that really enjoy what we got going on. So I am going to talk about this thing because hopefully I'm able to be a little bit vulnerable for you guys here on the show. On every content that I do, any podcast that I do, that I like to be vulnerable in front of the camera as a content creator, as a podcaster, and a broadcaster. I like to be transparent with my following, my fan base, everybody that enjoy our shows, everybody that enjoy our productions. And I want to talk to you guys about the story of this show and why this show is so important. And I hope that by the time I finish talking about what happened the last few days, you guys will understand. And I'm very first and foremost, I'm very happy for everybody. I'm very thankful to a lot of people that watch my content. Whether it's this show or the Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset podcast, or What Had Happened Was with me and Evelyn, or what's the other show? I think that's Ned McCain, right? That's a new one. Well, I'll talk about Ned McCain in a minute. But I'm really appreciative to a lot of people, our fan base, because you guys have allowed me to be, vulnerable. You guys have allowed me to be sensitive when it comes down to our shows. And I want to make sure that I give that back to you guys. I want to make sure that I give back to the people that actually watch the content, that actually do like our talk shows that we have produced for y'all. So I'm very thankful, first and foremost. So we've been doing Coffee Talk this week. The past 2 weeks, we've been skimming out, and there's a reason for that, because my new series, Ned McCain, is out. If you guys know, Ned McCain is a project that I'm working on. It is something that I am just so humbled. I'm so happy that I'm able to create something of that stature, and you guys really enjoy it. And let me tell you something. With that show being such a success already from episode 1, a lot of people love episode 1. I did get a lot of feedback from family members that watch or listen to it, rather. So there are some things that I'm tweaking with Ned McCain for this coming Friday's episode. I think this podcast will be out, I think, Friday night, maybe Saturday morning, or Saturday night, rather, because Ned McCain comes out on Fridays, right? And I'm really happy about that one. A lot of feedback from Ned McCain, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, I listen to you guys heavily when it comes down to you guys saying that the intro of the show was too long for episode 1, which is valid, right? It is long. The artist who created that song, I am so thankful. It was David Hayes and K Smooth. They were able to put together quickly an intro, but the intro of the actual show was long, so we're cutting that down. We're making sure that I'm adding more visual aid to our hearing accessible audience out there, because believe it or not, y'all, I do have a hearing accessible audience out there that need to be able to watch something with captions on it, programmed on it, so people can actually tune into the show. So, Ned McCain, those are some things I'm tweaking, some things I'm changing up when it comes down to the show. And let me tell you guys something. This Friday, by the time you're hearing it, it's probably already out. But this past Friday, current Friday, episode 2 is out. We are introducing a new character in the show. Her name is Lena. I'm very, very excited to that. Not in coherent with a lot of. I know 2 Lenas in my life. That has nothing to do with those 2 Lenas in my life. Or are they? I'm just kidding. No, I'm being funny. So we're introducing Lena, Ned, one of Ned's old flings for the show. So I do want to say to guys, to a lot of people, real quick. And yes, I am going to talk about Masters of the Universe, and yes, I'm going to talk about Halo campaign involved in this podcast episode. I'll get to it. You guys missed me in front of the camera. I'll get to it. I get to it when I get to it. So Ned McCain is very, very exciting show. I'm blessed. I'm highly favored for my actors, my actresses, the music composers, the sound effect people, Adaptive Sound Studios by K.L.P Entertainment Filmworks. That's our new studio. Small team, but a humble, mighty team that helps creates the show for you guys for entertainment. So I'm very, very excited for Adaptive Sound Studios' future when it comes down to Ned McCain. And yes, you will get each episode rather. It is approximately 10 to 15 minutes. We are limiting it to about 10 to 11 minutes per episode because it's digestible. You guys are able to enjoy the story and it doesn't take you a whole lot of time to watch. That's the one thing I notice about shows like that. That's an audio series that you're just listening to. You don't want to do 30 minutes. You don't want to be an hour because people's attention span is short. I hate to say it. People's attention span is short. People only got like 5 to 10 minutes of attention span. Not everybody, but just some people for something like that. So we're limiting it to 10 minutes per episode. And we hope that Ned McCain continue on to season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4 as the story progresses. And this is what we call an ongoing series. So basically, what an ongoing series is you're currently working on the show. Typically, a lot of studios they make shows like the first season. They pre-make it and then they just upload it. That takes a lot of time and effort. I like the ongoing series approach because I'm able to change things. If I need a change, I'm able to change it. And again, each episode is 10 minutes, so it's easy to change on an ongoing series for a time frame of that caliber. So very, very, very excited for Ned McCain. Hopefully you guys like it. And the reason why I brought up Ned McCain is because that is something that I'm working on. I got a call. Shout out to my sister D'Amber. Doing your thing, sis. And my brother-in-law, Jake. So D'Amber gave me a call and we were talking about just some stuff, just catching up. And, I told her that, I need to film Coffee Talk. I know, I think on Monday's upload, we did Coffee Talk in the evening, but it was my other podcast hosts that are a part of the show. I didn't come on camera. And I said, I'm focusing on Ned McCain. I'm focused on Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset podcast. And also, I was also in kind of, this is the vulnerable part, guys. I don't want to say that I am struggling with things right now. I think a lot of people know this about me. And I know I'll get better, right? I know with great sleep and bedtime tea and meditation, which I'm going to go meditate right after the show because I started doing that again. I used to meditate and then I stopped doing that. And I don't know. It's just something felt off this week. I can't explain it. And I'm here to say that I'm humbled about you guys watching, and I'm humble about everything that I got, because this week was a very fantastic week, believe it or not, guys. I've had a tremendous week. There's some things that I don't really want to talk about really because that's internal with K.L.P Entertainment Filmworks. I'm working with a big client on a special edition where I'm going to be interviewing some folks coming in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that because I'll be posting some stuff on that for social media. Can't really talk too much about it because that is internal. and I don't want to exploit that to the public audiences. And then I also am working with the institution on just working with them in general. So if you guys know, you know, right? You know what institution. Now that that position for me has turned for the better, is turning for a different position. I can't really talk too much about the institution that I am working with or for on our public platform anymore, because with HR and stuff, you got to be careful. And I say that to a lot of people. If you work a certain type of job that you enjoy and you do extra on it, you don't really want to talk about them or about their organization on like a show like this that is not sponsored by them, because HR people listen and people get funny about it. So going forward, I won't be talking about it, but if you know, you know. But like all, excuse me, like everything else, everything has been fantastic. You know, it's been a great week, but something also felt off. I don't know what it is. I think it is the time that I am going through. I don't want to say it's a midlife crisis. I won't say that. But I think now I'm kind of dabbling more into 30. And then, guys, I tell y'all, sometimes even I forget that I'm 30, right? I still sometimes in my mind think that I'm still 29 or I'm 28 or 27. But now that I'm in this new age, this new number age of 30, it's different. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, some days I'm going to have my off days. Like something just felt wrong and off. So I started, of course, obviously I've been going to church, but praying and whatnot and doing my thing. But I was telling that to my sister, and I was just trying to figure out what's the best strategy for this show, because this show is a show that I promise you guys I wouldn't cancel, first and foremost. And this is the show that people genuinely watch and enjoy. And what really sparked me was when Jake, shout out to you, Jake, I'm sure you're watching, my brother-in-law, I didn't talk to him that night. I talked to my sister. I think he was at work, but my sister said that, yeah, Jake really loves your coffee talk show. He watches every time you upload. And what's funny is not just Jake that watches my episode. Everybody that I know, they've seen the latest episode of Coffee Talk, and they just enjoy what I produce and what I'm talking about. So, so it sparked me, because it lets people know that, you know, people are still interested in watching my content. You know, sometimes I feel like before the numbers grew, I felt like I was just uploading and I was not getting views and no one really cared about what I wanted to say on a microphone, right? But within the last few weeks or so, I've learned the algorithm on social media, posting at a certain time and just kind of articulating what type of topic to post. And you guys don't really see it on Instagram and Facebook and so on and so forth, because I think with those social media platforms, they don't allow viewers to see your view count. But lately, the last few weeks, maybe even the last month, each reel we receive average from 300 to 500 views, eyes, impressions, viewer counts, likes, on Facebook, I would say, or not Facebook, X, right? A lot of you guys like the content. So I do say I'm thankful for that. You know, finally I reach over 2,000 followers. What had happened was, podcast with me and Evelyn Letitia, we reached finally over 2,000 followers. And behind is K.L.P. Entertainment, Filmworks, and the Heat and Swanky radio stations. They're creeping up on over 2,000 followers. So something's working, right? You know, something is working. You guys like the content. So that's why I don't want to stop, right? I appreciate everybody that you know, when I get a moment where I don't do a certain show for a minute, it's for a reason. It's not for me to be lazy. It's not for me to say, oh, I quit. No, that's never the reason. I am focused on Ned McCain, because let me tell you guys something about Ned McCain, and then we're going to move on, right? But I want to give you guys a good lengthy show, and because I've got a lot to say. Ned McCain, the reason why Ned McCain is so important to me, and I hope that you guys watch episode 2, because we're getting ready to get our script ready for episode 3. Ned McCain is a version of me, right? It is a fictional character that is a form of me to not only fulfill a fantasy that I have, that Ned McCain's supposed to be this cool guy. Ned McCain is supposed to be this cool guy, financial manager, financially literate, having these dope friends. And I do have dope friends. I'm not saying that I don't have dope friends. I do have dope friends. I'm seeing them on the 15th for dinner. But he has like these dope friends that give him some friendly advice, and my friends do give me that advice. But he also can get girlfriends, right? As you guys can see in the show, it's a spicy show, but it's just kind of a version of me that I pictured myself being, but I'm not quite that character, right? Because I'm only me, right? I'm Kennedy. I can only be who I truly am. But Ned McCain is that fictional character that sometimes I wish I was, right? Because, it comes naturally for him. And it's an extension of me too, because Ned McCain, he's at the age of 30, right? Obviously, I work in information technology. I do not work in finance. Ned McCain does work in finance. When I was writing the show, I didn't want him to be a technician or information technology because that's too close to home. And I don't want it to be a conflict of interest. But it is a kind of a switcheroo when it comes down to that. But he has the same kind of style to him. He does have accent. He's from Great Britain, right? So he has a British accent. So that's why I was focusing on Ned McCain and wondering to explore this 8D audio, which I hope you guys enjoy it, and to really explore something different. So I say that to say this show's not canceled. First and foremost, I am downgrading some of the equipment. Relax, you guys can see I'm racking sort of a handheld mic that works just as good. Because let me tell you, there's less equipment in here, and I'm looking at the monitor. It looks perfectly fine, and there's less equipment. This is just a turn on and go. What it is true. I am navigating ways to give you guys a show, but it doesn't take so much time for us to set up. That's the one thing I hate about doing a podcast is the setup, because it takes a lot of time. So what it is that we're doing for Coffee Talk is we are going to have this show prepped, filmed, and ready for one night, right? And I'm going to give you guys a show towards the end of the week. And I think that kind of works with all of our schedules, because if you guys noticed, starting Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday you get What Had Happened Was. Thursday you might get Coffee Talk, right? And then on Friday you get Ned McCain, and then on Saturday you get Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset Podcast, right? I think towards the end of the week, it just works with our schedule, because at the beginning of the week we have so much planning. We got so much things to do and so much things to prepare and write. So that's kind of the future of the show. Like I say, I'm grateful for you guys for being patient. I am thankful for you guys still watching and still staying tuned. I hope to, and like I say, podcasting, this is where it all started. Well, really it started in me working with cameras. That's really where it all started. But podcasting in 2015, that's where that all started. So when I started in 2015, and now I'm able to come out and to continue doing this thing bigger, badder, and better with newer equipment, new styles, and new things. So like I say, I want to thank you guys so very much. We are thankful. I'm thankful for you guys, and I appreciate your patience. I'm just trying to navigate this thing called life. Life be lifing. It comes with a budget to do these shows, and life be lifing, but we hope that y'all enjoy it. All right, so I'm going to turn the show. Enough about the sappiness of it all. And the one thing we're going to start doing, Hope is still our producer. I'm going to be more real live, right? I ain't going to do no jump cuts and edits because I need to take a sip of water. No. We're not going to do that. We're going to keep it raw and natural, because I think I like it raw and that. Ooh, but I got to be careful how I said that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. I was able, while I just mentioned, our new film schedules with all our shows, the one thing that I'm trying to get away from is filming on the weekends. The weekends are the days that I don't want to do not a goddamn thing. Right? The weekends is the weekend that I want to just sit and relax and do nothing. So this past weekend, I was able to do absolutely nothing, right? This weekend, I was in home and I was able to catch Masters of the Universe, He-Man. And let me tell you something. I will say I didn't grow up with He-Man. I didn't. I think He-Man came out in the late 1980s or maybe the mid 1980s. Obviously, I was born in 1996. So, did I know of He-Man? Yes. I grew up with Captain Planet, right? That was my superhero from the old school. Besides that, or the X-Men comic show, right? I didn't grow up with He-Man and Skeletor and Neckman, Neckamech and Fisco, right? I didn't grow up with those superheroes because, again, I wasn't born in the mid 1980s. I was born in the mid 1990s, 1996 to be exact. Go Millennials, right? So I was able to catch Masters of the Universe, the live action movie that came out, I want to say last month, and they finally have it on Prime Video, obviously because Amazon Prime produced it. There's a lot of placement product for Amazon Prime, right? When the beast, one of the beasts got ran over by a prom truck, hey, that's product placement. If there's product placement, and it's so weird because as a film guy now, I've learned that I know when they're doing a product placement, I can see it, and then I'm like, oh, that's strategically planned. I think the Adam is his name. Adam, he was on a date. And he was on his date, and they had a Coca-Cola placed where the logo is on screen. That's product placement. Coca-Cola said, "No, if you're gonna use that as a prop, we'll sponsor it for your movie, but you need to put that Coca-Cola right. Put the logo on there, on right where the camera can see it, right, so people can buy a Coca-Cola." I'm here for Coca-Cola because I love Coca-Cola, right? When I have a cheat day, a cheat meal, I'm drinking some Coca-Cola. So it's pretty much the basis. Adam gets there's Skeletor attacks the homelands. Of course, Skeletor. Let me tell you something about Skeletor real quick, because Skeletor is a solidified badass supervillain, right? So if you guys know, you know my new movie Guardians that we're making is almost done. It's almost done. I'm playing Nightmare, right? I'm playing the villain in this movie, and I watched this movie and I articulated Skeletor just in case if I need to change some things with my villain that I'm playing in this movie that's coming later. Skeletor is a solidified badass. He's a badass. Like he's the ultimate evil person that I've seen. So I like Skeletor. That was my favorite villain. My favorite villain of superhero movies so far. It has got to be Skeletor. Now, I know Skeletor is going to have some competition when Avengers Doomsday come out in December because Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, he's going to be playing the villain in that movie, right? So, but Skeletor evades the homelands while Adam was a kid. And, of course, he's going to get the Sword of Power. And then the Sword of Power, they gave Adam the Sword of Power, say, hey, go forth, go to a different planet, we'll come back and get you. But as Adam is going through the wave to get out of his homelands because Skeletor is invading everybody, he loses the sword and he gets stuck on Earth for 15 years. Now, Idris Elba is playing Duncan in this movie. I think he played Duncan really well. He was, again, Duncan, the first... he was going against Lockjaw, and they had that big epic fight, and of course Duncan loses the fight. He got shot, but he didn't die. I'm glad he didn't die, right? And of course Skeletor turns the homelands into rust, and now leaving the homelands to go underground and hide. And they're waiting for Adam, He-Man, to come back to the homelands and with the sword to be powerful to avenge the city and the townspeople, right? But Adam gets stuck on Earth for 15 years, and he's telling his friends and his roommates like, hey, I'm from this planet, I'm He-Man, I got the by the power of Greystone, I have the power, right? But Adam didn't know that he had to grow up 15 years, and now he comes back to the homeland with the sword. He finds the sword on Earth, right? Because somebody had it at a comic shop. He finds the sword, buys the sword. Well, he runs with the sword. He steals the sword. But after he steals the sword, the beast comes out on planet Earth, and of course his childhood friend, she comes out, and now they are going to go back to the mainlands to fight off Skeletor and the gang. And that's pretty much the basis of the movie. I gotta say, it's not every time. It's not every time a movie makes it right for like live action movies. Now, if you guys know, it's an '80s cartoon show, right? And of course, now you have it as a live action movie. And I think at the beginning, when Adam was at the gym and there was an older gentleman, I don't know his name. Again, I wasn't growing up in that era, but I think he played He-Man in another movie back in the day, and now they're just doing the homage. Movies, they do that. If the actor from the same character, but it's an older movie that's still alive, that can play in a movie, they'll do like a nice little homage for people who are truly fans of He-Man or Masters of the Universe. So I gotta say, I am a newly fan, right? I'm a newly fan of this, right? Because again, unfortunately, I didn't grow up with He-Man and Masters of the Universe because I wasn't born. But I like this movie, this live action movie, because I like the sound effects, I like the graphics, I like the cinematography that they have into it. I like it. I think definitely they're going to make part 2 and part 3. I would not put it surprised. Now, if I was a game studio, I would go to Prime Video, whoever owns the He-Man Masters of the Universe IP, and see how can I be a part of the IP so that way I can make a video game. I think if they make a video game in today's generation of He-Man, I think they're gonna make some money. I would buy it because I fell in love with the franchise because of this movie. Right? Obviously, you got the toys and the bells and whistles for He-Man, but if they made a video game, you best believe that they're going to make it really, really well. I really like this. So the ending, when He-Man was going against Skeletor, and Skeletor was getting his ass kicked by He-Man. Like, Adam, He-Man, they in the fight scene, he was punching the living shit out of Skeletor, and they slowed the camera. They did slow mo, and it's like He-Man, like disorganized, because Skeletor is a skull. He has a skull for a head. He doesn't have tissue and facial feature. Is a skull, right? Skeletor. So Skeletor's face looked like demolished, like dented, bent all out of shape, bent as hell, because He-Man's whipping that ass. And of course, He-Man dies. Obviously, the villain dies in this movie. It's not to say that Skeletor dies in this movie. He's the villain. Skeletor's the villain. Villains die in movies, but it's not to say that Skeletor is not gonna be back, right? He's gonna be back in part 2, right? Duh, right? But that fight scene, y'all just gotta watch it. It just, I was at home and I was watching the fight scene. I was like, ooh, right? It make me just like scared for Skeletor too. So, like I say, Masters of the Universe, it is a great movie. If you got Prime Video, watch it. It's there. I enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. It's really good. You will not be disappointed into what you're going to see with Masters of the Universe. Available now on Prime Video. So, coming up next, another thing that I did over the weekend, I did some gaming. Great time for gaming. Very great time for gaming. So I was able to, so I was on Game Pass this weekend. And this weekend on Game Pass, well, on Xbox, and I think I said it on Kennedy Lucas Lift Mindset podcast too. But this past weekend, I played, so I bought Sonic Adventure number 1. Because Sonic Adventure on Xbox, they had it for $3. So again, it was just $3. So yeah, I'm going to pick it up. Childhood, played it. I haven't beat it all yet, but I played it over the weekend. But I booted up my Game Pass, open audience. And when my Game Pass, when I booted up my Game Pass, I had forgot the Halo Studios made the campaign remake of Halo. So I booted that up, and let me tell you, I've always been a Halo guy, right? I like Halo. All the Halos, I played all the Halos. Are really, really fun. I did play Halo 5 Guardians. It was alright. It wasn't the greatest, but it was alright. So I knew what to expect in a Halo game. right? With the shooting mechanics, first person shooter, the story. I knew what I was getting into. But I think this version, which sucks because obviously apparently there's some woke moments in the game to cause the game to have lower reviews. I don't really like to talk about things like that in my video game reviews. I care, but I don't care, right? As a gamer, you don't care about those things, right? To me, right? This is just solely my opinion. I don't like to, and I hate that there's political moments and political things in video games. I think political outtakes of anything political should not be in gaming because that political news and outlooks has nothing to do with games, right? I feel like I really wish we can take the political stuff out of video games. I really wish we could take a lot of political things out of music and a lot of other things, right? But in today's society, there's some sort of political thing in Halo that calls people to give it low reviews. I'm not gonna talk about that, guys, because I just don't care, right? I'm a gamer. I don't care about those things. What I care about is does the game play well? Is it fun for me? Do I enjoy it? Is it fun enough for me to review it? That's what I care about. So I was able to play Halo campaign Evolved, and it's good, right? It's really good. It's I say it's good. I can't say that it's something revolutionary, right? The only thing revolutionary about it it looks pretty, right? It looks pretty. They've changed some things. They gave us 60 frames per second. The cutscenes look beautiful with all new resolution. I don't know if they use Unreal Engine 5 or not, right? Pretty cutscenes, right? The gameplay is smooth, right? You got a lot of the aliens that you shoot, and they talk the same like any other Halo, like the little shrimp guys. They're funny, they're quirky, they're snarky. I'm used to those I'm used to it, right? But the shooters are good. The weapons are good. Like I said, the cutscene's good. Cortana sounds the same. Like, it's pretty much the same kind of concept of a Halo game, but just more pretty. I do say, because a lot of people bought this game, right? If you want to buy outright for this game, by all means, buy it outright. It's your money, right? I'm glad that this game was able to be on Game Pass because essentially it's free, right? I pay a monthly subscription and I get to play that game for free, right? So I do encourage people to play the game for free. If you can, just download it to your console and play for free. So that way when you're done, I feel like this game doesn't have much of replayability, right? You get through the cutscene, maybe if you do online, maybe, but you play through the cutscene and then you're finished. That's it. There's nothing more to it, right? Until the next game comes out, right? It's not to downplay the game, not trying to downplay Halo, but it's alright. It's just playable. I played it over the weekend. I had a great time, I had a blast, but it's just nothing revolutionary about it, right? So it leads me to wonder what Gears of War, like the Gears studio, Gears of War E-Day's on his way out soon. I think it comes out in October, I think. So it's not really on its way out, but it's from Xbox as well. So I wonder what new thing are they, what new mechanic are they adding to those types of games, right? Those are the things that we want to know, right? I want to know these things. I do. So we're going to pass it over to our correspondents here for Coffee Talk to give you the latest news, and we'll be back to close off the show. Stay tuned.
Marcus, oh my gosh, have you actually looked at the August streaming lineup yet? Because I did, and my watch list just exploded.
Emma, I have actually, and you are not wrong. August is it's shaping up to be absolutely wild for streamers, isn't it? Like from horror to superhero stuff to, believe it or not, some really surprising returns.
Oh, absolutely. And the first thing that totally caught my eye, and this is kind of niche, is Soulmate. Do you remember the M. Threegan movie? This is a spin-off, right?
Oh, M. Threegan. Yeah, that killer dog, totally. Soulmate, from what I understand, is coming out August 1st, and it's actually direct to rental/purchase. It's about a man who buys an android to cope with the grief of his dead wife. Sounds pretty dark, but also kind of M3gan-esque in its potential for like crazy twists.
Right? Like, it gives me major Black Mirror vibes, but with, a dash of that M3gan absurdity. I'm actually really intrigued to see how they handle the horror of grief mixed with like a sentient android companion. It could either be brilliant or just a total mess, but I'm leaning towards brilliant for some reason. The trailer looked unsettling.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. And speaking of things that could be brilliant, or maybe just different, August 5th, we've got something for the Star Wars fans. Star Wars Visions presents The Ninth Jedi. It's a spin-off of the Vision series, which I really loved, actually, for its unique take on the galaxy far, far away.
Oh, The Ninth Jedi. That was one of the standout episodes from the original Visions, wasn't it? 8 episodes, Disney Plus and Hulu, all about young Jedi Law Kara. It's like a continuity-free exploration, which I think is just fantastic, because it really lets animators go wild, right? No canon constraints.
Exactly. It's just a breath of fresh air for the franchise, to be honest. And then, can we talk about Ted Lasso Season 4? Like, I thought that was done. August 5th, Apple TV+. Ted coaching an all-woman football team? I'm sorry, what?
I know, I had to reread that announcement a couple of times. Season 4? After, Season 3 had a bit of a mixed reception, shall we say. But the idea of him going back to basics, coaching an all-woman team, that could be the magic, the real magic, to recapture that first season charm,
I hope so. I really do. Because when Ted Lasso was good, it was really, really good. And then, also on August 5th, Netflix is dropping 100 Years of Solitude Season 2. That's a big one for literary fans.
Oh yeah, the 100 Years of Solitude adaptation is, it's been so critically acclaimed. I mean, adapting Marquez is no small feat, and they've just totally nailed the magical realism from what I've heard. And then August 7th, totally different vibe, Ricky Gervais's Alley Cats on Netflix. An animated cat, Marcus?
An animated cat, Emma, yes. An overweight tabby voiced by Gervais, channeling his usual profane and raunchy humor, but with a contemplative twist. I'm honestly torn. You either love Gervais or you really don't, right? But the idea of these cats thinking about their ultimate demise, despite having 9 lives, it could be surprisingly deep.
I think I'm in the Love Gervais camp, so I'm actually really excited for this. It sounds like Afterlife, but with cats. And then a horror movie that same day, August 7th, also on Netflix, The Last House. It's about a family trapped inside their own home. That's a trope that feels very pandemic-inspired, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's a chilling premise, honestly, with Greta Lee and Wagner Moura just waking up one day and you can't leave. You have to figure out how to survive inside. That's gonna mess with people. And then, completely shifting gears, August 12th brings Reacher Season 4 to Prime Video. Our favorite giant ass-kicking detective is back.
Oh, Reacher, yes. Alan Ritchson, still just massive and intimidating. They're adapting Gone Tomorrow, which is the 13th novel. And they've already greenlit Season 5 and a Neagley spinoff. Prime Video is all in on Reacher, which, makes sense. It's a huge hit for them.
They really are. And speaking of things with high stakes, August 16th brings Lanterns to HBO. This is James Gunn's DCU, a Green Lantern TV series. All eyes are on this one, Emma, especially after the Supergirl movie underperformed. It's got a lot of pressure riding on it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the previous live-action Green Lantern was universally panned. So this new series with Aaron Pierre as Jon Stewart and Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan, it just has to deliver, right? It's pretty much carrying the weight of the entire DCU's streaming future. I'm hoping it's going to be a big twisty hit like they're aiming for. It sounds ambitious.
It really does. And then August 17th, we get It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia Season 18. 18! The longest-running live-action comedy ever. It's kind of mind-boggling how they keep going, and going strong.
I know, right? And this season sounds like it's tackling everything. Inheritances, tent encampments, workplace automation, neurodivergence, conspiracy theories, the public swing against drinking. The Patty's Pub Gang is never dull, ever. And they just keep finding new ways to, be totally chaotic. It's still somehow, genuinely hilarious.
It is. It really is. They
they still manage to surprise me with how far they'll go. It's a testament to the cast and writers, honestly. Still one of the funniest shows on TV, even after all this time. You know, you kind of wonder where they get the ideas from sometimes.
Right? Like, where do they pull these plots from? It's just amazing. And then August 23rd, something completely different again. The Vampire Lestat One Night Only, live on AMC+. It's a filmed concert from Sam Reed, who plays Lestat in the Anne Rice adaptation. How cool is that?
Oh, that's actually really unique. I mean, I love that AMC Plus is doing that. It's like a way to experience the show in a totally new light, you know? Sam Reed performing songs from the series in character, I think that's a fantastic bonus for fans. Gives you a bit of that live performance feel right from your couch.
Totally. It's about 30 minutes, and it was like originally a live event, but now everyone gets to see it. I think it's just such a cool, innovative way to promote a show and give back to the fans, you know? It's not just a typical behind-the-scenes special. It's an actual, performance. So, Marcus, looking at this whole list, what's your absolute must-watch for August?
Oh, that's tough. I mean, I'm obviously incredibly curious about Lanterns because of the sheer pressure and the DCU implications. But I think I have to go with Reacher Season 4, just because I know what I'm getting, and it's always consistently good, always just pure action and fun. What about you, Emma?
Okay, that's fair. Reacher is a solid choice. For me, it's probably a toss-up between Ted Lasso Season 4, hoping it gets back to its roots, and It's Always Sunny, because, they never disappoint. But honestly, I'll probably end up watching half of this list. August is going to be a very busy streaming month.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I thank you guys for staying tuned and watching the show on Friday night or Saturday night, depends on when we upload. Again, like I say, guys, our schedule has changed significantly. Not for the worse. It's not for the worse. It's for the best, because we gotta share our times with all our other shows. But we love you guys. Stay swanky, stay safe. This has been Coffee Talk in the Evening, presented by Spotify. We love you guys, and we'll catch y'all in the next episode. Until then, peace.
We This has been Coffee Talk, presented by Spotify. From our cast, we thank you for listening.
May